How's it going, Brother Radios? We're here live on the channel with our Superstar Shakeup 2019 predictions. So we're gonna go kind of like we're just gonna bounce around between the different picks we have. We have one female, two males, and a tag team on each show, which amounts to way more than we probably should be doing. But who cares?
Yeah, we also got our Brother Brady's picks.
Yeah, we have those, and we'll bounce to those as we get to them. But where do you want to start, Raw or SmackDown?
Let's start with Raw, Monday Night Raw.
All right, we're starting with the A show, SmackDown. Oh, I mean, sorry, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah. So let's start off. I mean, do you want to start with the females or the males? Because we'll do the tags last, just because they're whatever.
Yeah. Let's do the dudes. We'll start off with
Whoa, brother.
with Brady. Yeah.
That's a weird sentence, brother. All right.
All right. So good brother Brady, he picked Samoa Joe going to Raw, and you probably see where that's leading up. Samoa Joe's the United States champion.
The untied status chimp.
Literally. And he also picked Shelton Benjamin. So, two solid picks. I definitely think Benjamin is a very realistic idea because he did nothing on SmackDown this year. So, yeah.
Facts.
All right, go ahead with your Raw picks, good brother.
Yeah, so I have so is this picks going to Raw or from Raw? I'm sorry, I'm dumb.
To Raw.
To Raw. All right, sorry. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't make sense in my head. So first coming in hot, I have probably the hottest free agent in WWE right now, in my opinion, which is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne, a lot of reasons why I would send him to Raw. One because I think he doesn't really fit on a SmackDown right now. A lot of people would want him to go to SmackDown because of his technical wrestling ability. But as we've seen, you could even get lost in the sea on SmackDown, i.e. Andrade, who should have had a match at Mania but didn't. Or have been in a match. Maybe you can make that multi-man match run back for Samoa Joe's TV matches. But anyway, the other pick I have going to Raw, mostly because I don't know what they're going to do if you have him and Sammy on the same brand. Unless you team them up again, and he's not really a heel right now. So, I mean, maybe he did attack somebody, so who knows? They shuffled all of the cards literally on this last week, so Kevin Owens could literally end up anywhere. And I think he'll end up on Raw. Again, he just fits there. I'd love to see him go after Seth as a heel again. Because he could even have this story like, hey, I took this title from you, when I was on Raw, I was Universal Champion before you were. And you had the first title opportunity against Finn and blah, 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 you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And that could be
make
really
it work. Cool. He was Universal Champ. I agree with that.
Give him another shot at that belt. I wouldn't mind seeing him win it again.
And so going to Raw, I got Randy Orton. I think so for counting the years, this would be year 4 on SmackDown this next year for him. And I think Randy Orton, that's pretty cool that you've had, RKO Randy Orton on SmackDown this many years. I think a transition to Raw would be fresh for him. And he just lost to AJ at Mania, so it would make total sense.
Oh, yeah, if he was leaving. But if AJ also does go at some point, it could signal that Randy maybe stays. Who knows?
Exactly. And my last pick, and so our last male going to Raw, that's not a tag, is Shinsuke Nakamura. And, kind of for the same reasons of Randy, it would be very fresh for Shinsuke to go to Raw. Who knows? Maybe since he's a big heel and Seth's the new babyface champion, maybe they throw him up there right away. That'd be cool, but you never know. But Shinsuke was a guy that they seem that they can insert into the main event when they want. So I'm cool with it. I definitely think those 6 guys we just named, if they went to Raw, be nice additions for the boys.
Easily.
So let's do these women, huh?
Hey, all right. We don't discriminate here. For me, I took Mandy Rose because I think she's been having some prominence on SmackDown, but I don't think there's enough space for her in the SmackDown women's division, especially if Becky does end up dropping one of the belts at some point. If you're gonna have it, so if you're trying to make a big push for her or Sonya or someone like that, this would be the opportunity to move them, so you can work that out. Probably around SummerSlam, I think is probably when all this Becky stuff's going to get resolved in one way or another. She'll keep one of those belts, but I don't know which one it'll be. Maybe she might lose them both. Who knows? Maybe it'll be like remember when they had the belts on the like the title thing for they had ladder matches to defend in every like pay-per-view, which is dumb.
Yeah,
that happened. Maybe it was only for a couple pay-per-views, but I remember Randy Orton walking out with that thing and then walking back in with that thing later.
True.
Yeah.
Good brother Brady, he chose Asuka. I mean, I would hate it, but if it happens, it happens, right? I mean, these are predictions, not what we, it's like, I definitely think Asuka going back to Raw, I don't know how that would help them, but it definitely could. I mean, maybe they'll throw her in one of the top spots, especially if, you never know what happens with some of the top stars right now. So, for me, going to Raw, I have Lacey Evans, which I don't know how I'd feel about it. I personally think I want Lacey on SmackDown, but for some reason, I'm seeing her going to Raw. Maybe it's because she is looking like the first one to challenge Becky, therefore, maybe that's where they want her. So,
I did see an interview where she says she's going to defend both belts, so, like, I'm assuming separately.
Yeah, that's what they had Seth do, so, I mean, that's the last time I can think of a double champion like that, so.
Gosh, that was so long ago. That was pre-brand split, man. That was like a couple of years before the brand split, I want to say.
Yeah, that was about a year before when he defended against Sting and John Cena on the same night. So that'd be Lacey Evans.
Oh, when he killed Sting? Yeah.
Going to Raw. So those would be a nice 3. I definitely think that'd be a nice little boost to that women's division. And completely drain SmackDown, which is kind of important at the same time. So tags, I'll start us off, and I think I speak for us all. I think this needs to happen. Sanity with Nikki Cross going to Raw. Sanity has literally been forgotten about on SmackDown.
Who?
Literally. And it's like no one they might have a hard time coming back on TV because people in the crowd might not know who they are. And while I'm kind of joking,
they might not want to know who they are after Eric Young looked like a disaster the last time he was on TV.
It has been so...
Did you see him? He looked horrible.
They had a match with Ricochet, and they would randomly show up and attack people.
And he beat all of them. It was like a handicap match or something.
They've pretty much not been seen since Extreme Rules, and that is sad.
What were they... what did they do at Extreme Rules?
They beat the New Day.
They had a match on a pay-per-view?
And beat the New Day, and then that was it. Never again.
Why does that not ring in my head at all?
It was a rough year for him, man.
Ugh.
You would almost bring in like conspiracy theories for what happened with them. They need Nikki Cross to complete that.
I could do a conspiracy corner on that on the next podcast. I mean,
there you go. So let's hit Brady real quick. Brady had the Usos, and this will kind of tie in with some stuff later.
Yeah,
that'd be a great move. That would feel fresh,
If they do, you got to have them do one of those walking promos instead of doing one of the "It's the Usos on Raw," where they're like, where they'll read off like half the picks that they're not giving time to.
We'll get a first announcement. Like,
it's amazing how in a 3-hour show they can't just have everyone have an individual segment where they come out. They actually have to just be like, "Look at this picture."
Yeah,
like what the 3 hours, man. How can you not book a 3-hour? I know writing television is hard. I know how it works. Like, and I've never written television, but I understand the process behind it way better than a lot of people. And writing for an hour script is tough. Writing for a 5-minute script is tough. But the thing about it is, if you are the person hired to do this, they expect you to understand how that works and how timing works.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how they do this show. It'll be around 6 o'clock. We'll get an announcement of someone like Sin Cara's on Raw, or Heavy Machinery's on Raw. It'll be something like that. Someone just, last year they did it with Apollo Crews. Oh, look, Apollo Crews.
Do you think they'd try and do something really dumb, like switch the main belts or something?
I really hope not.
Because that would be really stupid if there was a red belt on SmackDown.
I really think the only belt you can switch is the men's singles.
And that's why that is so boring to me. But anyway.
But I think that's the only one you can switch, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. What are they going to do? Put the
They could do a dumb thing where they just switch the champion, not the championship. You know what I mean? Which would make no sense at all.
Yeah. I don't know if they. Hey, man, they might be trying new stuff. All right, what's your tag, Garrett?
Yeah, so I have the Good Brothers going to Raw again, mostly so they have something to do, but I don't know that they will. They may be AEW bound. Who knows? I mean, they have a decent relationship with the Bucks, pretty good relationship with Kenny, I think. I'm sure they know Jericho pretty well. They did his podcast with him a couple times.
Yeah, they bonded really well while they're in WWE.
Yeah, so hopefully
those three tags would immediately pump lifeblood into that Raw. Pun intended. But and it would be awesome.
Great tag team lifeblood.
Yeah, I really hope one of our teams end up on Raw that we just picked. And, they'll probably shovel over, like, the B team on SmackDown, but it is what it is.
There's always one tag pick, like the Colognes was it the last 2 years, but now they have the B team. It'll be them taking up that. The Colognes won't even get mentioned. That'll probably be the one you get early on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, the Colognes are going to SmackDown. Wait, weren't they on SmackDown? No, they weren't. Trust us.
Yeah. Kane is on Raw. What?
What?
What? So going to SmackDown, we'll have Brady kick us off because good brother Brady, he had some knowledge with these picks. Finn Balor, which it ties in with the Samoa Joe pick, so even instead of swapping belts, Finn Balor needs to be on SmackDown. That's why I'm kind of hoping they switch the belts. I mean, because Finn Balor is as dead as they'll ever be on Raw right now, as he has a championship. So that's how you know he's got some issues. However, the other person he sends over to SmackDown is Mojo Rawley, and I totally see this. Mojo Rawley hasn't even been on, like, in the ring. He's just been cutting backstage promos for 3 months.
Trapped in the mirror.
Yeah, he's been trapped in a mirror cutting backstage promos for 3 months. Maybe you put him on SmackDown. Maybe the guy's picked up some stuff, Yeah, go ahead with yours, Garrett. What do you got for SmackDown, good brother?
So for the smackage, I got Lashley, and I'm gonna include Leo Rush in this because I don't think he's gonna be separated from him anytime soon. But I have Lashley going to SmackDown.
Lashley,
and also hopefully the man speaks again at some point. But I also have EC3 going to SmackDown.
Please God, let this happen.
That'd be huge for him. Especially if I think reportedly he's not very happy backstage right now. Because he's had like nothing basically given to him probably, and he's been. But one of the things I've heard recently from a lot of wrestlers is I think Becky specifically was the one I heard say it a lot. You have to take what you're given and do something with it. You can't just be expecting things to work out for you because the writers are good, because they're not.
Absolutely, you have.
They won't say that because they don't want to get fired, but that's what they're basically saying. You know what I mean? The writers suck. You got to be able to make it good.
And they're not wrong.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I really want EC3 on SmackDown. That's something I'm really hoping happens. I'm with you. The other number one guy I want on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre.
The Scottish psychopath.
You have the feud set up right now. Drew versus Kofi. That's Kofi's first feud. I hope that's what they do. They kind of teased it already, which I hate that they did, but at the same time, it kind of gives me hope.
Did you see what happened in that match? He left in the middle of the match, and they just didn't consider that a thing.
Yeah, so
he left and they didn't show it, and then he just wasn't in the match, and then because they didn't want him to get pinned, but they also wanted SmackDown to have something big on it, so they brought him over. It was the dumbest booking decision I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is a terrible booking. Yeah, the whole idea is like I saw.
That's not true. I've seen the invasion, but still, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, but no. Hopefully, you insert him into the main event. I mean, last year they brought in Cass and immediately threw him at Daniel Bryan. I kind of hope they get McIntyre here, and if they didn't lose hope in him with this Roman match and this other shit, he didn't have the greatest past couple months, but he had such a strong year on Raw compared to everyone else that it's like I hope they didn't lose hope in him, and maybe putting him on SmackDown will, do some good for him. And the other guy I got going to SmackDown is Buddy Murphy. If this one happens, I'll pop for sure. I need Buddy to get on the main roster. I don't know. He's an Australian.
There's nothing more for him to do. That's why they dropped the belt. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and you just had him go. So he put over Tony Nese, puts over Velveteen Dream.
Another decision people really didn't understand that I don't understand either. Not that I don't understand the decision. I don't understand why they don't understand it. Like, this is the problem with like half of the reviewers on wrestling not watching 205 Live because none of them know what's been going on there. I don't watch it. I followed what's been happening with it at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jack Gallagher just turned face again, so. I think the future of 205 Lives, it's either that Humberto or Kushida. And I hope that
not. Nah, I mean,
I hope they do it right this year. But honestly, they'll probably. Sadly, the brand might not be here this time next year.
that would suck. But I mean, oh well, you know.
Yeah, it's exactly. They got to figure something out. But yeah. So the women.
The Whammon.
We'll start us off with Good Brother Brady, the GOAT, the Grandmaster. Ember Moon. So we had.
That's a solid pick.
Awesome. I would love it. She had, honestly, you kind of forget she's even on Raw. I know she was hurt, but she's healed. She's back. So there's no excuse. Along with Ember Moon, my pick is Alexa Bliss. I truly believe if the way that this fell right here, Alexa would be perfect to go back to SmackDown. I loved her on SmackDown, but so go ahead with
your pick buried my pick on Raw this past week. I have Bayley. So yeah, I mean, that was a weird match, wasn't it? Bayley just came out and lost for no reason. Sasha wasn't there, basically.
She really, yeah.
Sasha no shows the taping, so she gets, or the taping, no shows the live show, so she gets pinned. Yeah, whatever. But anyway,
that would make sense more for Bayley going to SmackDown than Alexa.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, Alexa. Maybe. Here's the thing with that Alexa pick. She's been a 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion, I'm pretty sure. So like, you can put her in the main event scene legitimately. She's like considered a veteran at this point by the people in the back. You know what I mean? Like, even though she's not. She's still just herself, but I mean, maybe she should be considered at this point. She was one of the first ones they pushed alongside when they were pushing Charlotte and Sasha. So I mean,
this time last year in our prediction video, I was very passionate about wanting Bayley on SmackDown, and I still feel that way.
It's still not going to happen, by the way. I'm just throwing this out here.
On it, but yeah, agreed. It's probably not going to happen,
especially with her name spelled with that EY. No. Bayley. No. So yeah, so down to tags now. Do you want to go first with yours?
Yeah. It's kind of a random one, but Raw doesn't have much to give right now, right? And this is solely based off a team that I don't see moving. We'll give that up at the end, but you'll probably understand. So I have Lucha House Party going to SmackDown. I'd be like, what the fuck? No, they would probably benefit on SmackDown. When you think about how SmackDown's been with, I mean, they've already brought in Mustafa Ali with the cruiserweights, and they I don't know. Grand Metalik might actually get his name, might become a name on SmackDown. Lucha House Party might actually get a chance on SmackDown, but hey, man, Sanity and Good Brothers didn't, so you never. Hey, don't quote me on anything.
Hey.
But I don't think it can hurt because most people probably forget they're on Raw, right? And that's kind of what the Superstar Shakeup is all about.
Okay, well, because here's the other thing, right? Like, I personally don't care what happens with the Lucha House Party. I don't think it works at all. I don't think it benefits any of the three guys. I don't think it gets any of them over. I think it gets Kalisto less over than when he ever, you know what I mean? Like, than he ever was before. You know what I mean?
I truly think that until they get a serious chance in like a multi-tag big match event, they're not going to get over. Like, they're going to get over in the ring, and it's going to be.
But it won't work out. Yeah, they'll be a mid-card tag team that is there for you to lose to other big tag teams on a push, basically.
Grand Metalik's legit, though. Maybe.
I think Prado is legit. I think all three individually in the ring should be capable of insane things. But like, can we just say Dorado actually was one of my favorites out of the Classic? You know what I mean? Like, all the Lucha guys in the Classic, especially even what was the one that didn't sign? Anyway, or maybe didn't sign initially. Anyway, yeah, I mean, like, whatever. Lucha House, it's a good pick. I just think they'll end up getting split up wherever they go, probably eventually.
Yeah, it's the bottom of. Most people forget they're even on Raw. So this is a move that it's kind of like an Apollo Crews move. Brady had Authors of Pain, which would kind of be a pretty big move, honestly, because they were dominant on Raw until they got hurt. And
They haven't.
most people
Is that why they haven't been on Raw in all this time? Because there was an injury?
Yes, and they never talked about it once.
Oof.
They had Drake Maverick piss himself, and that was it. But one of the guys was hurt legitimately, and he got surgery. So, yeah, go ahead with your beautiful move to SmackDown with the tag division to close us off.
Got the top guys here. I got the Revival. Say yeah.
Yeah!
All day, all night. Yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense, especially if you haven't dropped the belts. If you want to get some more teams that can be in the title picture reasonably that aren't going to be able to beat the Revival. Here's your booking nightmare. Now you have to book the Revival against the Usos, and who wins that?
Yeah. Here's the reality: more than 2 teams are not going to move to each brand.
Charlie, you're talking about backstage politics, the likes we haven't seen since Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. If you do that Usos Revival match, and you're going to have to do that match because everyone's going to want that match.
Oh yeah, I think you need to put them on the same brand.
Oof.
God, man, I really hope that
who leaves, because the Revival aren't going to stick around without those belts, dude. I'm sorry, but they're not.
I don't know.
And neither are the Usos. So,
hey, man, our tag team champions of Raw right now are Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins.
Co-champions for the Uso. We're the Uso Vival.
Yeah, well, we love those guys, but I mean, they had a WrestleMania title win without any lead up, so they don't really have much going for them right now. Honestly, I would put the Usos on Raw and have Revival stay on Raw if that's how they do it. Because then, God. Yeah, we're looking at the recent shakeups, and they don't move many tags. So they're not going to move 6 tag teams. I would be shocked, like our predictions. But that's just us playing the game. That's how we do it. Yeah, I'm a really big fan of Anderson and Gallows moving, and maybe the Usos. And then if Raw just like kind of low key hits off some dead weight, like the AOP and Lucha House Party. AOP only because they haven't been seen. That's kind of why. But they're a big good tag team. So you kind of edge out a little bit of that, gain some love. Raw will probably get Heavy Machinery too. God, if they don't, I have no idea what to do, man. If Raw doesn't get 90% of those fucking free agents, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Oof. It should be interesting, right?
Right.
All right, bro. Who's going to be the first person announced? Let's close it off with this. If we had to just some random person, what's going to be the 6:30 p.m. WWE.com announcement?
Nikki Cross is joining Sanity in some way or another.
Okay.
That's not even going to make TV, but they'll probably be there. As much as I think that's a solid pick, I don't think it's going to make TV as much because nobody knows who Sanity is. So why is it going to be a big deal? You know what I mean? Like,
hey, you are not wrong.
yeah.
All right, 6:30 p.m. The announcement is going to be Heavy Machinery joining Raw. I think that's what it's going to be. It's a random team. So we both agree it's going to be one of these free agents. I definitely think that's what it'll be. Free agents, for fuck's sake. All right. That'll be it for us, I think, right?
Right, brother.
Yeah. Good Brother Radio. Like and subscribe. Predictions are live. Enchilada surprise.
Ding. Make sure you hit the bell so you know when we go live.
If you mean Gibraltar, you're a vegan. Goodbye.
And